this shit. Me, brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's your host, Litt, and again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you're here and you decided to, take your time to listen to whatever I'm going to say. I mean, I rarely do this, but I decided that there is always a first time for everything, and yeah, this is my first time really doing this, more like a monologue or something. I don't know how they call it, but I mean, let's just call it that. And I decided that why not today, right? Friday afternoon, not so busy, the weather is so nice, sunny indeed, and yeah, I needed time to relax and unwind. It has been a busy week. Yeah, just joined law school a few weeks ago, an estimate of about 2-3 weeks, and guys, I'm super excited to be in law school, for sure. I mean, it has been something. I mean, I still feel the pressure about being here, being in law school and everything, but again, as I said earlier, there's always a first time for everything. I'm super excited. There are so many things I'm learning about the school, things I didn't really expect. And yeah, super exciting. I've always wanted to be here. I've always wanted to be in law school. When I talk about law school, I'm not talking about uni, I'm talking about the law school, that is the Kenyan School of Law. Yeah. Super exciting. I would say it has taken me a long time to be in law school, but I'm glad that I'm here. But away from that, I didn't really decide to do this video to talk about law school or anything. I'm here to give you guys a story. Yeah. A story about me, about my life, about what do I call it? Damn, so bad with words. An experience. Yeah, an experience that I had not so long ago that kinda taught me something after thinking about it for some time. I always thought that thing, or maybe at that time I thought that it was really a bad thing for me, or maybe it was just so unfortunate, or maybe I didn't deserve the loving. But again, looking at it now is kinda different. Different? Why? That is where we begin our story, right? I hope before we start the story, you subscribe and probably share this with somebody. I don't know why I did that, but again, who cares, right? There's a friend of mine who I'm not going to mention. They told me sometimes I behave like a gay person.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
I have beards. What else? I have an Adam's apple. Bruh. What else proves that a man is a man? Is it the behavior? I don't know. But again, it is what it is, man. You behave how you want. Everybody's subscribing to whatever they want. I mean, support. Yeah, I mean, you would be a toxic person not to allow people to be whatever they really want to be, right? most of us would really agree with that. So I mean, I've been beating around the bush around the story that I'm about to give. So let's dive right in. Yeah. Yeah. And so it all begins like this. I am just from breaking up with somebody. Let's call her T. And at this point, really looking into maybe getting to know other people or not. Yeah, or not. Or maybe I was just doing life. And it happened that I was just, concentrating on finishing part of my law school, because I've done a bit of 2 phases before this one. And decided just to focus on law school as I waited to be in maybe something with somebody else. I mean, I'm somebody who loves to love, but then loving a good person, loving a beautiful person. I don't know if most of us would really understand what I mean, but for those who do, amazing. So I was in that phase where probably, for lack of a better word, I would say I was not here, not there with the relationship kind of like idea, and so I was just there awaiting the good, for sure. But I wasn't really focusing on it, like putting energy into a relationship or something. And so law school was happening for me. I was going to school, coming back, preparing my things, working on myself, in a nutshell. And it happened that I believe on a Wednesday of a certain month, about last, if I say the date, somebody might know, and I didn't need that. I don't want to be guilty of anything. So at that time, it was on a Wednesday of a certain month, of a certain year. I was just chilling in my crib, and I was just doing my own thing. I believe I was just listening to music, or maybe I was just watching a movie, and I get a text. This text was from a random number. Why I say a random number is because whenever you send a text message to somebody who you have their contact with, obviously they show their name, but for this one it was quite different. And so I really wanted to know who this person was. Obviously they started with the normal and boring hi, and since I wanted to reciprocate the same energy, I said hi too. Damn. Okay, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but being so obvious is crushing. Not so cool. But nonetheless, what I do usually is that whenever I receive maybe a message or a call, or maybe see a missed call from a random message that I haven't saved, I do a search. I first look into maybe if they're in one of the groups that I have subscribed in, the WhatsApp groups, or maybe go through with a search in the Truecaller app. And when I looked into the searches in the groups that I'm in, I came to realize that it was somebody who was in a school group, or the law school group. I was curious, and so I didn't really dive so much into it, honestly. But after a few minutes, a few seconds, I got a call from the same number. I really wanted to know what this person, or maybe who this person was and what they really wanted. Not because of anything really, but because I don't know, maybe I was just curious, or maybe I was just bored and needed something kind of interesting. Maybe something that was going to kind of like shake my life a bit and kind of like get me off the normal life stuff or something. So yeah, I pick up the call and guess who's calling? It's a lady, and from the voice I could already tell who the person was. Yeah, and my reaction was like, you never called me, like why are you calling me now? And why are you even calling me at this point? Okay, just to take you back, this person was or maybe a colleague of ours, or maybe a student that we were with in the same school, law school, and we were in the same kind of like circle when it comes to damn, for a lack of a better word, motion kind of like group, or maybe a discussion kind of like group, or maybe that clique that people usually have, that you meet after classes and share whatever kind of info that you want to share, the gossip, the blah 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 blah. You understand whatever I'm saying? I mean, we all do have such kind of like groups, but I didn't really see her like that. Yeah, and so I really wanted to know whatever this person wanted to tell me. Before I go further, at this point we were already done with school, and we were at a point where we were joining our internships, because obviously the school required that we get into these internships before we really complete this phase of law school. And so at that time I was doing my internship at a certain farm in town, and so at this point we really didn't we were not in the same kind of like environment that we could see each other like the next day and kind of like maybe get deeper into a conversation that like what was that all about, like yesterday night. Yeah, so back to the phone call. And so I picked the call, and she started talking to me, and she was super excited. I mean, I could tell from her voice, and yeah, I hate to be, because obviously the energy kind of like has to be reciprocated. Not because I could do any other thing, but I mean, sometimes energy kind of like takes a toll on me, or maybe it kind of like consumes me, and I'm just in. If you have a good vibe, if you have a good energy, you know, it all depends with the energy that you bring. And so like I had to be excited, and so it was like, "Hi, how are you, Litt?" Like all that kind of stuff, yeah. And yeah, after having a conversation, you know, the introductory part of the conversation, she got now straight to the point of whatever she wanted. And surprisingly, she tells me that she has been eyeing me for a minute. She has been eyeing me. Oh my god. Hey. Me. For a minute. Yeah, I was shocked. Okay, I wasn't really shocked because she told me this. I was shocked because I knew something about her, and I bet she knew that I knew. What do I mean? I mean, I'll take you back to the point where I said that we're in the same clique, we're in the same kind of, circle. And so being in the same circle, that means that we really knew about each other, even hata kama, for lack of a better word, hata kama it was just a small thing. Everybody knew something about the other. Maybe just something about each other. So I knew something, and I'm sure she knew that I knew. And this thing was that her boyfriend was also in the same circle. Yeah. I was shocked. Yeah, as you were, Litt. I was shocked because how do you tell me that you've been eyeing me, you like me, you've been liking on me for a minute, yet I know you guys, and you guys are in a circle. Well, I was amazed, I was shocked, yeah. But again, let me tell you something about this guy, the boyfriend. So the phase of law school that I was in was supposed to be a phase with 2 years. I'm not going to mention the whole bit of whatever thing that I was doing in law school at that time, but we were supposed to be in that kind of like phase for 2 years. And so in the first year, that is the time that I got introduced, or maybe we got to know each other with this guy who supposedly is or was the boyfriend to this lady. We're going to name her V. Yeah, V. Yes. So it happened that we got to a point where I had exchanged my headphones with another lady who was my close friend. Yeah, she was just nice. So there was a time I had to give her my headphones and everything, and it happened that the headphones later on passed over to this guy. We are going to name this guy who P and V. Yeah, P. And P, as he was in the possession of those headphones, he destroyed the headphones, and so the information was reverted to me that he had done that, and I confronted him, and it got to a point where he wanted to fight me because he wasn't ready to pay the headphones. I'm not a physical person. I'm not that physical person when it comes to, fighting over things. I don't like fighting. Or maybe because I'm small. Maybe because it's just rude habit. Maybe it's just so ghetto or something. Or maybe it's just that, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just a coward. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I'm just weak. I don't know. So instead of having this physical fight with this guy, I decided, you know what? Our friendship is off. You do whatever you have to do, and I do whatever I have to do. I mean, I'll get the money, I'll purchase some other things. We go like that. We're not going to be talking to each other. That is what I decided, and that's how we flowed with it. So moving forward to the second phase, to the second year of that phase, yes, we were having conversations when we were in the clique, but not like the conversations that were supposed to be like personal, like me and him. So yeah, he was in the same circle, but not a friend to me. But then the others were. Weird, right? It happens. Let me tell you the truth. It happens. We have a friend in clique, or maybe that person in the clique that we don't always understand how he manages to be or she manages to be in the group, but we tolerate this person. I mean, they're just there. Let them exist, right? So, moving forward to the second day of that phase, we were not in a space that we were talking with this guy, and in the same second year is the same time that her now girlfriend was calling me, telling me these things. And so I knew that they were dating. I knew they were kind of like doing this whole thing that they were doing. I didn't really I didn't really know if it was a relationship. I just think that they were just fucking or something. It happens at campus. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy. It happens. Like, people just want to warm your bed or let somebody else warm their bed. It happens. Nothing new. I mean, everybody does at some point. So, yeah, but then I knew they were into something with each other, and it was kind of like weird that now her lady V was coming to me. And so it got to a point where now we started talking, because obviously she has told me that she has now interest in me, and I'm now concerned about now the boyfriend, because obviously I didn't want to be in a point where we are kind of like having a back and forth with somebody who is in something. It's crazy. It's bad. It's sickening. Yeah, mad. And so I asked her about the ceremony. She told me that they had broken up for a long time, or maybe they were in the process of breaking up, and that at some point, hear this, at some point she had told the boyfriend about me, that she was interested in me. Who does that? Who does? Oh my god. Crazy. Was crazy. Like who does that, honestly? Like, who tells the boyfriend that they're interested in another guy when they are in a relationship? Utakufa vibaya wewe. I mean, that is what comes to my mind as I'm thinking about this now, right? Crazy. Like, you don't even tell your boyfriend like that. You don't even tell your girlfriend that you seeing somebody else when you're with them. Okay, I would say maybe when you're kind of like going to break up or something, or maybe when you're mad, and it has to be high level, kind of mad, like mad though, like mad, bro. It has to be. And so yeah, or maybe she wanted to convince me, like, yeah, like they weren't really working. And so yeah, we had a conversation about so many things, and yeah, it got to a point where we ended the conversation at a very good place for that night, Wednesday or Thursday. And just to put it out there, that night was really crazy for me, because you got me thinking, like, bruh, sis, like, you just dropped something on me and I'm not thinking about it. I wasn't even ready, like, for this. Plus, most of the times that a man, I approach you because I see you as beautiful, as intelligent, as like hush, caramel. Like, yeah, I mean, it got me thinking. crazy. Like, got me thinking the whole night, like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? Yeah, so slept over that night, like over evening, woke up the next morning, was still thinking about it. That's how crazy it was, right? But yeah, and the next day she texted me in the morning saying hi and everything, all the lovey-dovey shit. This person was really on a pass with, like, you know, like telling me all the cute stuff. Shit, sometimes I get really brainwashed, cause honestly, consistency, bruh, consistency. She was consistent, and it really got into my mind. Mind you, at that point, I just, broken up, and I was single. I wasn't really sure I was ready to mingle, but I was single. And yeah, I mean, it was getting me into my head crazy, like mad. And in my mind was coming the idea that probably I should try this and maybe see where it was heading. She had not really convinced me that they were not really seeing each other with a guy, but the consistency of kind of like calling me, texting me, telling me all those kind of like sweet stuff really got me. And for some time it kind of like got me, and I fell just a bit. Yeah, just a bit, and then a bit, and then it was just there for some time. Then it just went down a bit, and then to the same level. That means I was really getting into a point where I was agreeing with her with whatever she was bringing to the table at that point. Like, whatever she was telling me is crazy. I don't really admit guilt most of the time, but at that point, yeah, it really got me. Cause honestly, at that time, we were really kinda getting close, or so I thought. And yeah, I don't know, I was thinking, or maybe I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I don't know. It was just crazy. It was a crazy moment for me. Probably I was just falling. I wouldn't say falling for. I mean, you get whatever I'm trying to say, or maybe not. Let's just keep. And so it happened that this went on for some time, 4 minutes, and it was really feeling good. Yeah, it was. The feeling of somebody is kind of like interested in you, and you kind of like feeling the same. It's really something. But away from that, so moving forward, after some days, I get a call, and this one kinda got me in a point where I didn't really know what was happening. Cause as I told you earlier, whenever somebody calls me, I kinda like expect getting their name via the Truecaller or something, or maybe looking for their names in the Truecaller app, or maybe just looking them up in the WhatsApp groups or something, just to make sure, just to be sure. Yeah, I wanted to use a bigger word, but for now. We're going to use maybe sure. But this time it was about to be different because I wasn't seeing the number. It was on a private kind of like thingy. It was a private number, and so on picking the call, some dude speaks. Obviously, I know the voice, but the question that comes into my mind was like, why are you calling me? I mean, you're calling me at a point when, okay, the guy who calls me is supposed to be the ex or maybe the boyfriend of me. But my mind also is ringing because I don't understand. Like, guy, we've been speaking for some time from the past. I mean, I know your voice. Why are you calling me with a private number? Yet I know your voice. But again, I need to know where this is going. Obviously, I know in my mind that this person has an intention of maybe getting some information or is in a mood of kind of like playing games. But again, I'm a curious person, and I need to know how people kind of like play games, or maybe try playing games with people, or maybe how fraudulent people kind of like work their things out. I'm a curious person, and so I needed to know what this guy was all about. Obviously, I knew or maybe thought that this person kind of like wanted to have a conversation with me just to maybe get info, because he already knew that we were kind of like, or maybe had started a thing with her girlfriend or maybe ex-girlfriend. Yeah, and so we started talking, and this guy tells me that they needed to get some advice. Some advice from me. Oh my god, me. Yeah, he needed to get advice from me. Okay. So I'm kind of like concerned. Like, guy, we don't talk. I don't even have your number. Like, the only time that we get to converse, it's not really personal. It's in a table where with other friends, and at this point you don't like address me, you address the people we are with. We don't really have that back and forth because we are not good with each other. So like, how do you, I mean, the audacity, like, but like, how are we like, how are you even asking for advice from me? Well, I'm a curious person. I wanted to know what advice this person wanted from me. I mean, I'm a knowledgeable person. I know things. But again, I really wanted to know, like, why me and not the other friends in the circle that he was more of friends with than me. I mean, we had already fallen out kitambo because of whatever, Why me? And so this guy tells me, you're a secretive person, you're also intelligent, your way of thinking is kind of like open, like you're open-minded, and your level of secrecy is something that somebody would fuck with. And so I was like, that is not really convincing, because my guy, like, we don't know each other like that. You don't even know me. But again, I'm a curious nigga. Like, I have to get the gist. I have to get the info, bro. Like, the fuck? Like, just like any other person, I'm there for the chai. I'm there for the tea, bro. Like, I need to know these things. And so, okay, I asked him, like, okay, what advice do you want me to give on what? And this guy tells me, like, they're in a verge. They're in a position where they haven't been in a good position with V, and that he feels like V is kinda cheating on him, and he's feeling like he wants to break up with V. And he then goes ahead to ask me like what advice like would I give him. Nigga. They call me Solomon. Okay, my other name is Solomon, for those who don't know. They call me Solomon because they knew I had something. Like, Achilles. Oh, why do you play games? There's a reason they call me that. There's something that the Olionyesho. You know, when the Bible says that I'm created in the likeness and wellness of the Most High, bro, there's a reason for that. You don't play with God. When you play with, bro, likeness, wellness, bro, please. So this guy asked me that question and what I think that he should do. Wise people always wear glasses. I do, just to push it out there. And so I tell him I ask him what he thinks that he should do, and he tells me again that he's thinking of breaking up with her because he can't really keep up with all the lying and everything. And so I tell him like the best thing is to communicate. Of course, I'm a very big advocate of communication when it comes to everything. That's how people relate with each other. Like, there's no way that you can really move around without communicating. Like, I feel like that is what keeps most of the relationships or keeps everything going. So I tell him, like, I feel like you really need to have a conversation with her and kind of like find ways to amend whatever is going on. I think that P really wanted me to advocate or maybe just conquer with him on the fact that he should leave V alone. Bro, we don't think the same, and so I gave the advice like, bro, talk to your girl, communicate, find a way to solve all that they need. And so after me telling him that, he said that it was okay, that he was going to do the same. He was going to talk to V, and he was going to get back to me the next day, which in my mind I never thought that it was necessary. Though I didn't air it out, I didn't think it was necessary because it sounded so deedy. Like, bro, like, we don't talk about each other like that. I rarely talk to guys who are my friends about how they should do their relationship. It's off. Like, you don't really have those conversations unless they are provoked by something, or maybe this, that. But then the consistency, like, bro, tell me how I should fuck with my girlfriend, tell me how I should do this with, bro, nah, that line we never go. Like, okay, at least for me, I don't feel like it is kind of like a good idea. And so we move forward. And the next day the guy tries to call or maybe text, and I wasn't really feeling it, so I didn't kind of like pick. And so as we were moving forward, I tried reaching out to V, and she wasn't really responsive or having the conversation as before, and it got really into my head. Honestly, at that point, I didn't really understand how you would move from being so close and then wavy. I'm a guy who becomes so serious when it comes to relationship. That's just me, or maybe that's how I think of myself. And of course, I don't like the wavy kind of like movement when it comes to a relationship. So it was really weird for me at that point. However, I was at a point where I was thinking that really this thing was really fresh. So I thought to myself that maybe I was overthinking things, that maybe that is not the best approach to deal with that. And so I decided to take a back seat. Again, in my mind, I was really I would say bothered, for lack of a better word, just because I can't just because I can't think of a word to put in there. And I felt kind of like it was getting dusty, the environment of whatever was going on. Maybe I should have seen that. And yeah, I saw it. But again, who am I? I like taking opportunities. Fuck me. And so, what came into my mind as I was kind of like sitting with my thought was that this guy called me. V is not really responsive to my text, and it was just after the whole kind of like thingy. And so we don't talk with V for a minute. I mean, it means like some days, closer to 1 week and a half. And I continued doing my own things as before. When I talk about before, I talk before V came into the existence. Yeah, before Wednesday, before Thursday. I went back to doing my low things, internship kind of like things. Focus. My guy like And so one time, after those kind of like weeks, or maybe 1.5 weeks, I decided to call her out of the blues because the thought just came. And at this time, she picks, and she was kind of apologetic, but again, she gave an excuse that the reason that she decided not to take my text and everything is because she thought that myself and the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, we were ganging up against her. That we wanted to solve whatever thing that we wanted to solve. That we were planning to kind of like show also how dirty she was. Bro. Me, my time, show how. Really? You met me chilling, maybe catching a movie or listening to something. Right. I was really kind of like, I didn't really get it. But then she was there just saying that the boyfriend kind of like told her some things that I was saying most of opposite of whatever that I was really saying to her. That now all that kind of like got her thinking that I was playing games with her, and that was the reason that she wasn't kind of like picking my calls or maybe my text messages or something, my DMs. Honestly, I saw this coming, but again, the curiosity, the idea of kind of like getting into that thing that kind of like drives your adrenaline or something, being a bad person. My mind, mad dog. But again, she apologized. I didn't understand. But yeah, at that point I really got it, and I wasn't really now. Honestly, the ship was already sinking, and obviously I got the message, and I decided to kind of like leave. Like these relationships that I thought was going to be working, though commenced by her, wasn't really going to go anywhere. And so I hung up, and yeah, we left each other in a very good or maybe amicable kind of like way, not telling each other whether like we were going to pursue each other or anything. I didn't really have plans of pursuing that again. It was already messed up, and I wasn't ready to dive into the mess. Obviously, days moving forward from days after, the guy kind of like we started having kind of like a back and forth with the guy, the ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend, and yeah, there was name calling and everything, which I did, which he also did, and it was crazy, childish, not called for. Of course, it was mad, until it got to a point where I guess we were all tired, or maybe one thought that they had defeated each other, the other person, and we left it for that. Childish, bro. Like, things I will really not do again in my life. Madness. Like, yeah, we exchanged words. Honestly, we did. Crazy. And one of the words I called him, you never know. You never, of course, because I mean, there's a past life, and we are all changed. We are all good. Yeah. So we left it at that, and everybody went their own ways. So after, I believe, some months, I get a call. Oh, not some months. I believe a week or two. I got a call, and the person who's calling me is V. Okay, just to take you back. So after all these things that I kind of like went down, we started having a conversation again, and she said that she was really sorry for everything, and that she thought I was a good person. Manipulative tactics. Wow, crazy. Yeah. And I don't know. At this time, I was ready, because obviously you learn from your past books. I was ready, and she told me everything that everybody wants to hear, and yeah, I was kind of like at that point, not here, not there, but here listening. And we had already started talking, and she really wanted me to be in town. I remember that, honestly, because after the internship I had already moved back home, because there was just some things that I was doing at home. And so she called me when I was back at home. And at one point she called me and she asked me whether I was in town and if I was in a position to kind of like see her, or maybe if she would come to me. And yeah, I was honest, like I wasn't in town, but there were times that were coming that I would be in town and it would be a very good time, like we'd see each other and kind of like everything. Stupid me, I was ready even to go and see her at her place. In my thoughts, I never did actualize that, but I had thought about it. And I'm thinking that I did express it to her, and she was really welcoming the idea. But again, I had some things that I was doing in my home, and they were really tying me up to kind of like getting back to town to do anything. And so the thought was the only thing that kind of like connected us. And yeah, I was really at a point where I really wanted to see her. Whatever you're thinking, that's it. That is what I was thinking. Whatever you're thinking, if you're thinking this or thinking that, that is exactly what I was thinking. I really wanted to see her. And so it went on for some time, weeks, and she got to a point where I told her that, you know what, honestly, I'm going to see you next month. The beginning of next month, I'm going to be in town, and we're going to do everything. And so I wasn't really sure that we were going to see each other at that beginning of that month. What I was sure is that I wanted to see her, but honestly, I never knew how I was going to see her, because I really didn't have plans for town. And so one time, she calls and she tells me that I should get to town and that we should catch up, if I was ready, she would also like come to my place. Yeah, and all the way through I was in for it, but there was no means for me to be in town at that point. And so we really had to postpone and everything. Moving forward, we didn't really see each other. So moving forward, it got to a point where she called me at some point, and she called me and wanted me. I believe this is just before we kind of like started having plans and everything, or thereabout. She calls me and tells me that she really needed some money. And I was skeptical, because I wasn't really at a point where I would trust her because of whatever she had done to me in the past. Like, she really played games with my heart or my soul, my mindset. So at this point, I really didn't know if I did really help her, if it was something that I really needed to do, or it's something that I was doing from my heart, or it's just something. So I decided not to lend her any money. But again, prior, she asked me about meeting so much. Yeah, it connects now. And I didn't give her the money. Though I had the money, I didn't see a reason to give her the money at that point. Maybe God was really communicating with me. And so due to that, we really didn't continue having the conversations that we had sometimes before. And so the conversation really subsided, kind of like went downstream. And yeah, that ended kind of like there. But again, I still continued living my life the way I used to as a single guy. Interestingly, not minding anything, but still having in mind that there was something that really shook a part of my life. That was that. But again, life has to move on, and so it did. And as you can remember, there's that friend. I'm not really going to remind you of the friend and how it kind of like ties up, but that friend, I decided to call that friend sometime, because already we hadn't kind of communicated in a while, and she's a very good friend of mine, quite interesting, like we share so much, and honestly she's amazing, like to talk to. Yeah, she's a she, and honestly she's just a she. Yeah, she's my sister. My sister, my friend. So we started conversations over so many things, catching up, and it got to a point where I had to share the same story about V. My friends, I'm not snitching. I'm not using actual words here. I'm not using actual names. But I really got to get some information. I was surprised. Remember when I told you that V had called me asking me about money? So this day, Vic had called me to ask money. I had told her that I wasn't going to give her money, and that the reason that I wasn't going to give her money was because of whatever experience that she kind of like had instilled in whatever we were having, or maybe that thing that she did. So that was the first call that she made, and afterwards I hung up the first call, and she called afterwards again, pleading with me that I was her only close friend, that she would kind of like get this kind of help. I was shocked, because how I knew her is that she had a lot of friends. I'm not shaming her or anything, but that is what I thought. But I really didn't express that to her or anything. I just told her that I had already made my point, and that it was just better that we moved our own ways at that point. So back to my friend here. And we are gisting, we are having a conversation via phone, and I'm telling her about the experience that we had and how kind of like messed up I was getting, or maybe got myself into. And as we were diving through, she decides to drop a gem on me, like you know what, V at that point was kind of like yeah, she was she was, and she was really kind of confused, or maybe at a point where she was kind of like confused, because she really couldn't, in her words, that she couldn't really understand or maybe tell whose pregnancy she was. Okay. V, at the same time, he was seeing the ex-boyfriend and really wanted to have a relationship with me, was having a relationship with another older dude. Call him K. When V was really having a wavy relationship with the ex and also wanted to have a relationship with me, was still having a relationship or maybe something with Kelly, who happens to be an older guy with a very good job, with a very good and expensive vehicle. Interesting. The information that I got. So, back to the gist. The V was and really didn't know whose it was. Gist that at and around that time they also seeing each other with the ex-boyfriend, and they got to a point where they really had the knocking going on, and what happened in between, they couldn't really finish their relationship, and so the guy went after the knocking. But again, at that time also, she was seeing the older guy, and she really wanted me to come over and consummate the relationship that she wanted. Oh my god, the mess. What? Oh. So, that got me thinking as I was listening to that gist, like, damn, she was asking me for money at around that time. So that means that she wanted to kind of like mapangale everything. And again, this V kind of a person had asked me, no once, not twice, to go and see her. So, probably, she wanted me to be in the same circle or triangle. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. That opportunity didn't materialize. Oh, can you imagine that mess? That kind of mess. 1, 2, 3, 3. 3 guys. 3. Bro. I just come out from a relationship. And you want me to, you want me to come to, oh my god, thank you god. There are times that I look into things as such. That is what makes me believe that there's God. For sure, like 100%, cause obviously I was thinking about it in this way. What if I decided just to leave whatever I was doing back at home and went to see her and kinda be knocked? I'll be in that kind of like story. Like, you could be one. Could be's are not so good. Could be's, I know about could be's. Could be's, maybes are not so good. I'm not going to go into details of what really happened with Z and whatever, but for me, I thought about that and the story that I caught even afterwards, and I was like, God, things either good or bad really happen for our good. It's just that we don't know it. Honestly, I would have preferred that from the beginning things really went well. Because 1, she's a very beautiful person. 2, she's a beautiful person. 3, I don't know why I say 3. But yeah, she's a beautiful person. Amidst all the chaos, amidst all the mess. Oh. But again, back to my point, everything really happens for a reason and for you better. Cause I really wanted that relationship to work, and the fact that it did not work was for my good. Because honestly, I'm here, peace of mind, not thinking of the could be's, maybes, whatever, but giving you this story. Because I didn't dive into the mud, I didn't dive into the mess, I didn't dive into the shit. Because what? God happens. God happens. God did. You know, every day that I wake up, I say thank you, man. Thank you, bro. God, thanks. Everything really happens for your betterment. Just look into the positive. Not nearly the positive aspect of things. Everything good, everything bad, it's just some gems of good for you that really happened. Maybe you missed a bus this morning. There's just a reason. If you look deeply, maybe there was supposed to be an accident and you missed the bus, and that bus kind of like hit a tree, hit another bus, blah 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 blah. And if you could have been in the bus, you could have. Maybe there's a reason that you didn't really pass that exam, because there's a calling on another end. There's a reason. There's a positive reason for you. Look into the positive side of things. Live a positive life. God got you, man. Your help, as Psalm 71 says, man, comes from the heavens. I mean, I'm a testimony, bro. I'm a testimony. Just seek him. Knock. I mean, even without you doing anything, for sure, there's a person who got you. But again, my main message for today was most things happen for your good. Just look into it with your inner eyes. I mean, you're blessed with that, and you'll see, and you will see. You know, the Bible also says people have eyes yet they don't see. People have ears yet they don't hear. Come on, bro. Look, and you'll see, bro. You'll see, bro. You'll listen, and you, bro. Till next time. Have a lovely night, have a lovely day, have a lovely afternoon. Till next time. And sure, you subscribe and share this with your friend. Has been your host Litt. Till next time.